deck with the morning glory plant, which is where I like to look every now and then for golden tortoise beetles. And sometimes I find, anyway, side note, have you ever had a fresher flower in your hair than one that's still on the vine? But yeah, anyway, just playing. And so I look for golden tortoise beetles on these plants. And then today I found an interesting other type of insect, which I want to show you, and which inspired the title of this broadcast, which is, "Oh, oh, look at that caterpillar in the window." And you will see why. It's because I'm looking at a caterpillar that is a leaf mining insect. Nice to see you, Scott. Hello. Yeah, and so I wanted to show you guys on this spontaneous weekend broadcast the insect that I found. Not a golden tortoise beetle. Sometimes, here, let me see. Okay, I'm going to snap off this dead leaf. So there's different types. Imagine it's green. There's different types of, there are different types of bites that a leaf can, that insects will take on leaves depending on the species, and golden tortoise beetles often cause bites that are just like plain circular-ish but kind of Swiss cheese-ish bites on the morning glory. But then there's other types of insects that will create windows. So that's what the title of the broadcast is referring to when I say, "Oh, look at that caterpillar in the window." So I have a caterpillar that's in the window, and so I will show you that caterpillar in a moment. Okay, with the macro lens, because it's a tiny caterpillar. All right, and there's multiple of them as well. So, oops. Flipping the camera. So here we are, and there are the windows. And do you guys see the caterpillar in the window? The one with the, it's munching in the leaf window that it's created. So we'll look at it from this side, and then we'll look at it from the other side. And there are some interesting things going on. So, all right, macro lens, we will gear up and equip ourselves with the macro lens. Here's the macro lens. So bear with me for a moment as I fit it onto my phone. Okay. And so now we can get, oh look, my cat Mika joined us on the roof. Hi, Mika. Hi. Anyway. So putting this on, and now we can look up close. So here we have our little caterpillar in the window. It is protected between layers of the leaf skin. Hi, Miko. Hi, Red Eagle. How are you doing today? So it's protected within layers of the skin from the world, and it's munching on the leaf. So as if we were to watch this or do a time lapse for a couple hours, we'd see this space getting, let me see if I can zoom in some too. We'd see the space that it's in getting wider and wider, and bigger window. You can kind of see it munching down right now. I was tempted to pick the leaf and bring it underneath the dissection scope, but I thought that it might be nice to just watch it without disturbing it so much, without picking the leaf off. But yeah, we can see it munching down right now. Anybody else having lunch right now, or dinner, or breakfast? So it's protected from the outside world inside of its window. Okay, so we'll watch it for a little bit longer. The wind is blowing, so sorry if it's going in and out of focus a little bit. All right, there it goes, munching down. So I haven't identified it yet. It's some type of moth, I believe, some sort of leaf mining moth, probably, but I don't know the species yet. I posted it to my iNaturalist page at EsaBetaBug if you guys want to connect with me on iNaturalist. And so hopefully someone who's an expert in this area will see my post and comment on what's going on. So I just took off the macro lens so we can zoom out a little bit, get the view. And now I'll flip the camera to say hi again. So now we're gonna look at the other side of the leaf because there's some interesting things going on the other side of the leaf too. Okay. All right, so here's the other side of the leaf. And if you take a look at the edge of the windows, you can see dark spots. So what are those dark spots? I will put my macro lens back onto the camera and we'll take another look up close at the other side of the leaf to see exactly what's going on there. And this was a surprise to me. So, okay, putting on the macro lens and now we'll flip. Oops, not quite on. All right. So, oops, hi, sorry. All right. So now if we take a look at what all those squiggly things are, if you have a guess, put it in the comments. I will share in a moment what that is. So at first when I flipped, I wasn't even sure if it was like in between the leaves. The leaf. Hi, Heavenly. How are you doing? At first when I flipped it, I thought, oh, it's not between the, it's not in between the layers of the leaf. It must just be on the underside of the leaf. But actually it is in between the leaf. But most of it is. But then I've said, one sec, I need to zoom in a little bit here. Oops, no camera. It switched. One sec. Uh-oh. Darn, what happened? Okay. The problem, just have to say it, the tricky thing, hi. Oh, nice. Thanks. Maybe later. Thanks. So I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the tricky thing about having a camera that has a phone that has like two camera lenses on it, or yeah, I guess that's what we would call it, is that sometimes when you zoom in, it changes the lens that it's on, which is not very helpful when you have a clip-on lens that only covers one lens. So we're dealing with that difficulty, so thanks for bearing with me here. I will try this again. And Heavenly, you have a spider video you shot yesterday morning. Oh, cool. Yeah. So on my weekly regular broadcast on Thursdays, I'm gearing up to start a segment, or I have intentions to do a segment of submitted photos and videos to me. So if you want to send me the video through email or something, that'd be awesome. And then I'd love to take a look at it and comment on it while I do my weekly Thursday broadcasts. That sounds good. Yeah. Was it in your garden? Have you missed it? No, you have not missed it, David. Welcome. Okay. You might know what this is more than me, David, so I'm glad that you're here. Okay. I'm flipping the camera. I just had a technical difficulty where, because my phone has two lenses, when I tried to zoom in a little bit, it switched which camera lens my phone was using, which does not work well with the clip-on lens. Can you hear me whisper? I just realized I don't even know if it works to whisper while broadcasting. All right, let's try this again. Okay, flipping. Lens on. Or maybe if that happens again. So here's our little friend, and I'm not going to try zooming in this time because I don't want to risk the camera switching. Okay, so here's our little friend, our little caterpillar in the window, the one with the tail sticking out, and it's pooping. It's in between. Its body is mostly in between. I've noticed it's a little hard to show you guys, but when I look up close, I can see that its butt, or the tip of its abdomen, is sticking out of the leaf and pooping, or creating frass, which is the entomological fancy word for insect poop. And so that's like a really nice and tidy way to be. Yes, little processed leaf, basically, is what that frass is. Good probably for compost. And so, because it's a good way of this caterpillar keeping its space very tidy and clean and free of getting too much debris, or maybe developing mold, or who knows what other stuff could develop if the frass piled up. So that's our little friend. I'm gonna try to, yes, hi Georgia. Yep, it's making a big impact, but there's also a lot of them too. So we can look at this other leaf, which has a lot of damage on it. And you can see there's another caterpillar there, another one right here. So many little caterpillars. And I'm guessing this might be something completely different, this leaf mining trail. Let's flip the leaf. Heavenly says, I did the tree hugging challenge yesterday and it was on my chosen tree. Oh, nice. Hugging the tree with you. A tree hugging buddy, it sounds like. Oh, it looks like this caterpillar is out of the window. Here, sorry guys for the weird videography that's going on right now, but twisting leaves. So there is a caterpillar outside of a window. Maybe it finished the window it was working on and now it's gonna go start another window somewhere else. Has some interesting patterns on it. I'm guessing those lines probably help break up its body pattern to make it more discreet or seem like nothing. And then there's this one up here that is still in between a leaf. Hi, Travis. Thanks so much. I'm doing well. I was pretty delighted to find this because I haven't seen these in Morning Glory before. Here's one that's still in the leaf, and you can see a little bit of the black frass coming out. Trevor, hello. Good to have you here. And this one started a new one recently. So these are our little caterpillars in the windows. The one with the trail of frass. So it's kind of interesting. Here, put this picture right here. Oh, look, it looks like. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to, and it's getting me excited to think like, oh, look at that caterpillar in the window, because I'm like, okay, with the bug scope in the past, as many of you might know or might not know, I've created the Bugsmas, which is where we write insect-themed lyrics to different Christmas carols that are in the public domain. And now I'm like, oh, like I'm tempted to turn this into a song now too. So look at that. Look at that caterpillar in the window, the one with the trail of grass. And then I don't know what happens next in the next line, but I will ponder it. I like those sorts of puzzles and creative challenges. So yeah, that's the caterpillar in the window as referred to by the title of the broadcast. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and you can ask them now. Although I have a lot of questions about this caterpillar too, because I don't know what species is. I did post it to iNaturalist, so if you want to, well, the picture I posted on iNaturalist is not super exciting because I just took it with my phone. I did take some pictures with my DSLR though too, which I'll probably also post to iNaturalist, so you can see more detail there when I post that photo. But yeah, any golden tortoise beetles while I'm sitting here? I gotta check that out. But if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them now in the chat as I wrap up the broadcast and our discovery of the day. DOD, discovery of, DOTD? Or maybe I can skip the DOD, discovery of the day. I think what I'll probably do too is, yes, exactly, David. That's what I was just thinking. If there was only one, well, yeah, I'll probably take one to rear out. It seems simple enough. And the tricky thing is that I'm moving this upcoming Saturday. So there's a lot going on, but I think that I will be able to. They're nice and small, and because they're so small, I don't have to worry as much about the maintenance. Is a little simpler, so I think that I will try to rear one out. And because it's a leaf rolling insect, I'm guessing that some of the larger ones are already probably pretty close to where they need to be before they pupate. So thanks, Travis. Yeah, this is, I mean, this plant here is just right coming out of a pot. So for anyone like interested, you can create a really nice garden just out of container plants if you're interested and if that's all the space that you have, or if you have black walnuts growing in the yard that make it really hard to keep a garden because black walnut trees create these toxins that inhibit the growth of other plants. It's tricky, very tricky to navigate. I love black walnuts. They're really nostalgic to me because I grew up with them in my yard back in the day as a kid. But then it also makes it super difficult to grow certain plants in a garden in the ground because, yeah. So, and the squirrels love them, and they're native, so overall they're good, but they're tricky. Can you put the caterpillar in a special container? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Um, I'm gonna put this caterpillar into a. I'll probably pick the largest one, so to like kind of cheat, or not really cheat, but like that way I have less time until pupation occurs. And then because there's many different caterpillars here, so some some mama moth must have been like, haha, this is a wonderful growing plant, and I will lay all my eggs on this plant. And because there's a lot of them here, so I will choose the largest one because it's probably the closest to pupating, so it's less effort on my end to rear it. Um, Going back to Philly, asks Fran. I am going to Atlanta, Georgia, which is where Ramon, my husband's family, is, and I'll be spending time there, and then also in October I plan to spend most of the month of October in Philadelphia, which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, it's kind of weird having this gap before my fellowship in Indonesia, and I just also received, here's some news regarding that. I received an email on Friday, saying that I'll be able to, if necessary, defer until the next academic year, which is not super ideal because at this point, like I'm grateful for that because I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have to reapply if I don't end up going, like being able to go this spring because of COVID? COVID's really bad right now in many places, especially Indonesia. And I got that message from them saying I don't need to reapply and I can go the next academic year if COVID makes things uh, impossible to, like, if I'm not able to go because of COVID. So that's good. But yeah, it's definitely difficult having these delays, and I'm sure many of you guys have experienced delays in your plans and projects as well. So it's just weird, weird time to be alive. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the Indonesia trip. And how long am I going? When I'm there, I guess maybe sometime in the future I'll do a broadcast just on that, like Q&A on going to Indonesia and my fellowship plan and everything like that. The plan is I'll be there for a whole year, and for the first 3 months of my time there, I also, in addition to the Fulbright National Geographic Storytelling Award, I also was selected for a Critical Language Scholarship Award, CLEA for short, and that means I have funding to go enroll in a language school in Indonesia, in Java, the main island of Java, where the capital Jakarta is. And there I will intensively take Indonesian and study Indonesian, or Bahasa Indonesia for 3 months. And I'm super looking forward to that because that will really help me connect and navigate in Indonesia and just have a deeper level of connection and collaboration with my collaborators there. So make things more effective and efficient, and just like, it's just nice to not have a language barrier sometimes, if you know what I mean, because things can be more deep and whatnot. Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, thanks. And then the fellowship, the 9-month fellowship, it'll be 9 months long. I just said that when I was describing it as an adjective. That'll be 9 months long. Yeah. And it's a funny situation because ideally I'd start the whole thing in like June, because I want to make sure I include the the beginning of the rainy season, which is in like end of October and like November is when the rainy season happens, when it transitions, and then also the transition from rainy season to dry season. Um, they don't have like winter there, of course, because the location in Borneo where I'll be is right along the equator. But as for those of you who know winter and know the season changes, just like how the seasons change here with going to cold and then going to warm, there's a lot of changes in the insect activity. And so I really want to be able to capture some of those changes and be present when those transitions happen. But it's really tricky because with COVID, I have a lot less control over when I'm able to leave. But we'll see what happens. I'm just going to make the most of whatever I'm given or whatever is presented to me, because just going in the first place is really exciting and wonderful, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. So, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with the Indonesian entomologists and community there as well. So, and going back to a place that I was in 2015 too. So yeah, Trevor, yeah, let's arrange that because I'm moving, so it has to be soon. Yeah. And also the weather's been really beautiful here in Michigan. So cool. All right. I'm gonna go now. Thanks guys for joining and checking out the cool caterpillar in the window with me. And cheers from me and the very hungry caterpillar and Mika. Yeah, moving to Atlanta, and I'll be bouncing between Atlanta and Philly. Yeah. So cool. All right. Bye everybody. Take care, and I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy the beautiful outdoors, the bugs, the plants, just living life, the fresh air, and have a wonderful day. Thanks, Travis. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Trevor. Cheers.